Welcome back, bro. In today's video, we're going to go over how I lost 20 pounds of fat in just 60 days. If you're new here, my name is Killian Flood. I am a content creator, fitness coach, and natural bodybuilder. So unfortunately, I recorded this video about 12 hours ago. Already had it edited and everything and deleted it. So at the last minute when I was uploading it on YouTube to be posted tomorrow, it was gone. And obviously I was not happy about that, but fuck it, we ball. We are good. Getting done right now, and we'll still get it out in the time that was planned. So let's hop right into this. So this is me in April of last year. 2024, and this is me just 60 days later, 64 days to be exact. But yes, I took the bulk a little bit too far, as some would say. Definitely not my proudest moment, but summer was coming up. I knew that I was not going to pull up to the beach without abs for the first time in my life, so your boy locked in, and I'm going to show you guys exactly how you can do this if you are in a pinch or just want to get shredded fast. It's not easy, but it's simple, so follow along and you will get a shitload of value out of this. I highly recommend pulling out a piece of paper and actually taking notes on this. If you follow through with these 5 stages that I'm going to go through, you will easily be able to do this on your own. So no need for a coach, no need for any extra videos after this. You will literally learn all you need to know on how to lose fat in this video. So do not sleep on this. I am going to give you all the sauce. But like I said, this will be in 5 stages to keep it simple. It's only 10 slides total, so it'll be easy to follow along. All right, starting with the first and most important stage. This is your calories and macros. Your nutrition is by far the most important part of this journey. No matter if you're trying to gain weight, lose weight, maintain, the nutrition is key. I'm going to show you really quick how to find your maintenance calories. This will be linked in the description. So put in your height. I'm going to do me as like April of last year. So height, weight, and age. All right, and then right here, it'll give you your maintenance calories without any activity. But you're going to want to scroll down, and depending on how many days a week you're working out, go ahead and input that. So because I was working out 6 days a week, I'm going to do this. So this is my maintenance calories. If you follow through the same thing, you will find your maintenance calories. From there, we're going to take off 600 to 800. The more the better, the more the faster you're going to lose weight. It's completely up to you. You are going to feel like you are in a deficit the higher the deficit is. So just remember that. But after you found your maintenance, I'm going to say it's 2,900. You're going to take off the 600 to 800. I'm going to do 800. So there you go. That's your daily calories. Now, from there, you're going to multiply your body weight by 1. That's your protein. Now you're going to multiply your body weight by 0.3, and that'll be your fat. Now, this is where it gets a little bit tricky. You're going to multiply the protein by 4 because there's 4 calories per gram of protein. So that'll be 800. Then you're going to multiply the fat by 9. 9 calories per gram of fat. Now, you're going to add these two numbers up and subtract it from this original calorie goal that you have. Okay, so after that, I know this is kind of complicated, but like I said, if you have this pulled out on a piece of paper, it's much easier to follow along. I do have this still on the screen, so you can see it if it's easier to see from there. But hopefully that wasn't confusing. From here, you have this number. This is your leftover calories, okay? You're going to divide that number by 4. So 190. That's my carbs. So 200 grams protein, 60 grams fat, and 190 grams carbs. These are going to be your daily macros. This is the best way to break them down if you're trying to lose weight. So pretty simple. From there, you can just download. So pretty simple. Now that you have your macros, which are much more important than your calories, you're going to get a calorie calculator app. MyFitnessPal is a great option, and you're going to start tracking your calories. Make sure you get a scale and make sure you stay consistent with this. It is not easy, but it's simple. I'm just going to leave it in this view because it'll be easier for me to switch back and forth. But training plan. How many days a week do you want to lift? This is completely up to you. I personally love the gym, so I like to train for 5 to 6, maybe 7 days some weeks. But depending on how often you want to be in the gym is going to determine how lengthy your sessions are going to be. So let's say you go 4 days a week. You're probably going to spend about an hour and a half per gym session to get the optimal amount of sets per muscle per week. If you're doing 6 days a week, you're only going to be in there for about an hour. So it's kind of up to you. Obviously, you're still going to see growth with 2 days a week, 3 days a week. Just you being in the gym and progressively overloading. That is the key. Progressively overloading in the gym consistently, whether it's 2 days, 1 day, 3 day, doesn't matter. Just be in the gym, progressively overload, and train hard. You will see growth or fat loss, depending on your goal. But that's where the nutrition comes in. And like I said, that's why it's the most important. So choosing your split, again, completely up to you. There's no optimal split. The only thing that really matters is that you're doing 5 to 10 sets per muscle per week. That is the most important. That is a good range for a beginner, intermediate, advanced, it doesn't matter. 5 to 10 sets. As long as these sets are to failure or close to failure, this is 1 rep in reserve for those who don't know. That means that you go until you feel like you can only do 1 more, or you're going to all out failure. I prefer all out failure because it's hard for me to judge, okay, when is it that I only really have 1 more? So I just do all sets to failure and I recover fine because my nutrition is locked in, my recovery is locked in. We'll get to all of that. But I highly recommend training to failure. You're going to see much more results. No junk volume, guys. Seriously. 5 to 10 sets. Simple. 48 to 72 hours in between muscle groups. If you're hitting back on Monday, do not hit back again until Wednesday or Thursday. Preferably Thursday. 72 hours is what I do. 48 hours is okay depending on how many sets you're doing. Bottom line, the split doesn't matter. And how many days a week you train do not matter as long as these are locked in. I didn't mention this, but track your lifts. If you are not progressively overloading, you are not going to grow. It is simple as that. If you're not tracking your lifts, you do not know if you're progressively overloading. So do not sleep on this. Pull out your phone, pull out a piece of paper, just do something. There's a bunch of free apps out there. Find a way that you can stay consistent and track your lifts. Now on to number 3, dreaded cardio. I recommend 4 to 7 days a week. This can be just 20 to 30 minutes of inclined walking. I want this to be low intensity. You should be able to hold a normal conversation while you're doing this. Your heart rate should not be through the roof. I like to aim from 100 to 120 beats per minute, but if you don't have a way to measure that, just think about, could I have a conversation right now and be out of breath or not? If you would be out of breath, you're probably going too hard. I recommend doing this fasted or post-lift for the best results. It's completely up to you. As long as you're getting it in, it's better than not getting it in. So pretty simple on cardio. Now, number 4, recovery is arguably the second most important thing. 7 to 9 hours of sleep per night. Not 6, not 5, 7 to 9. I promise you, sleep is key. This is far more important than the training. If you're not giving your body time to recover, you're not going to grow. Water is also key to recover. You need to be drinking an adequate amount of water, especially if you were taking creatine, which I highly recommend to anyone under the sun. 10K steps a day is a good goal. This will just speed up the process. I would aim for at least 6,000 no matter what, and then anything above that is just bonus points. It turns into a game, though. This is honestly one of the easiest parts. Also, pretty low caffeine. I would recommend only having caffeine before the gym and making sure this is not 8 hours before bed. This is going to be hard for a lot of y'all, but no alcohol. I promise you, alcohol is probably the worst thing that you can do when trying to lose weight because it messes with your sleep, it messes with protein synthesis, it messes with everything. There's a reason you don't see bodybuilders drinking alcohol. All right, on to stage 5, your daily routine. If you do not have a consistent daily routine in place, it's going to be very hard to stick to all of these other topics. Your recovery, your nutrition, your sleep, all of this is going to be all over the place if you do not have a daily routine. Getting morning sun as soon as you wake up sets your circadian rhythm, wakes you right up, and instantly sets you up to kill the day. Cold exposure immediately after that. Make sure you are taking a cold shower. The feeling is absolutely insane, and research has actually shown that it can increase your dopamine levels by 250% for like 4 to 5 hours after you've done the cold shower. So definitely do not sleep on these. A consistent bed and wake up time is also very important. If you're not going to sleep and waking up around the same time every day, it's hard to stay on a consistent schedule and make sure that you're getting those 7 to 9 hours. Also, consistent workout time. You mainly just do not want to be lifting too close to bed. I recommend at least having 3 hours of settling down before going to sleep. Meal prep is also going to be a huge thing. Saves you a bunch of time and a bunch of money. It also makes it much less likely for you to go get fast food because you're short on time or you're just lazy. It kind of sucks, but there's a bunch of resources out there to make it very, very easy. You have YouTube, pull out your phone, trust me, bro. The last point is just say no. Most of the time, the people you surround yourself with are not going to have the same goals as you, unfortunately. This makes the process much harder. If you know that going out tonight a week is going to make these goals very, very hard to hit and make your routine very hard to stick to, do not do it. It's that simple. What do you want more? Do you want to look sick at the beach? Do you want to feel good about yourself? Or do you want to go get drunk and talk to random people for a few hours? It really comes down to that. What do you want more? All right, I lied. It was not only 5 stages. But on to number 6, progress tracking. Tracking is key. Data is key. I know I'm saying a lot of things are key. Nutrition, sleep, tracking. They are. I'm not just wasting your time. If I did not think these were important, I would not be adamant about having all my clients do them. Daily weigh-ins are very important so that you can see the weekly average. It's hard to not get discouraged when you wake up 2 pounds more than you were the day before, even though you ate in a 800, 600 calorie deficit. This is where weekly averages come in so that you can see that you actually are making progress and not get discouraged. A lot of this is a mental game. So whatever you can do to keep your head on straight, I recommend doing. Weekly progress photos are also a must. Sometimes the scale doesn't go down, but the progress is shown in the mirror. Water weight is a real thing. Some days your muscles are going to hold a little more water than they were before. with progress photos. You will not get discouraged by this. Biofeedback log. This is not as important. If you have a good app or a coach who has a program, being able to track your digestion, your energy, your sleep, all of that comes into play when you want to switch up your nutrition or your routine, and just gives you a little more data to work with. Like I said, data is key. All right, a few cheat codes, a little bit of extra value. 0-calorie treats are going to be huge when it comes to the end of the night and you really want something sweet or something savory, whatever it is, and you don't have any calories left. You're going to need something. 0-calorie sodas, obviously without caffeine, are great. There's a bunch of 0-calorie drink mixes. There's a bunch of pretty low-calorie popcorns. Things like this are going to be huge. If you're worried about aspartame and all like the natural flavors and all that, it's going to make it a little harder. Luckily, I'm not too worried about that, so I eat these up. Whey protein and ice is also very good. If you want to make some ice cream, use a little milk. Completely up to you. If you have the extra calories, I definitely recommend doing milk. But this is just something that saves me. Low calorie and 0-calorie sauces are also going to be very important. You don't want to waste your calories on sauces. Definitely stay away from any mayonnaise-based sauce, any cream-based. Go for the more like mustard type sauces. If you hate mustard, I'm sorry, I honestly do too. But you can find a bunch of 0-calorie and low-calorie sauces that do not taste like mustard. G. Hughes is a very good brand if y'all want to check that out. All right, and the last one of the cheat codes is remember why you started. Losing this amount of weight is not easy, and there's going to be times where you want to throw in the towel. You have to remember why you started. Why do you want to do this? If it helps, right now, before you start this journey, write down on a piece of paper exactly why you want this. Write down what your life will look like if you do not hit these goals, what your life will look like if you continue to do and feel the way that you do right now. I know I say this a lot in my content, but the mental aspect is just as important as the physical. You have to build these mental calluses in your mind, and it makes it much easier if the reason that you want these goals is clear. If you're a little overwhelmed by this video, I know it's a lot, and you want it all done for you, you can apply. I will say it is an elite coaching program, so not everyone gets accepted, but I would love to get you on a qualification call and see if you'd be a good fit. But yeah, that's it, man. I hope that you enjoyed this, and if you have any questions, make sure to leave them in the comments. There'll be a lot more videos like this. I know this was a little rushed, and I'm kind of like dead right now. Like I said before, this was pretty last minute, but the other videos will not be like this. So have a great night, man.